Angels fans have been feeling it for quite a while now, but I think this article from Bob Nightingale is only going to make them feel it even more. He goes on to say here, the Los Angeles Angels, perhaps for the first time, are open to trading all-star outfielder Mike Trout if he indicates to them that he wants out. Trout has exclusive no-trade rights and said recently that he wants to have a private conversation with the front office and ownership about their direction. So you might be thinking here, why would the Angels want to trade their best player of all time, Mike Trout? He leads the franchise with a career Baseball Reference WAR of 85.1, way ahead of Chuck Finley, who has a 51.8. He's had an amazing career up to this point, still only 32 years old, but look at the numbers that he's put up. A 301 batting average, a 412 on base, a 582 slugging, a 994 OPS overall, a 173 OPS plus, 368 career homers, 206 career stolen bases. Amazing numbers overall. He's going to go down as one of the best players of all time. But it has been a problem with the Angels over the years trying to win games, even with Mike Trout. Since he was actually called up back in July of 2011, they have a losing record, 937 wins and 959 losses. That is crazy to think that they have a losing record with a player who's going to go down as one of the best of all time, as well as, adding guys to go with him like Shohei Ohtani, Anthony Rendon. They've made all these trades over the years and nothing works. With the Angels, they haven't made the playoffs since 2014. They had a good year that year. They won 98 games, but they got swept by the Royals in the first round. That's crazy to think. And they haven't had more than one winning season since then. Their last winning season was the next year in 2015 when they went 85 and 77. The other problem with Mike Trout is he hasn't been able to stay on the field. He has suffered a lot of injuries. He's on the IL right now with a wrist injury, but the most games that he has played since 2019 was last year with 119. So he's having problems staying on the field, and he is making a ton of money. He's making $35.5 million per year on average until 2030. So he's making a lot of money. He's barely playing. They're not winning with him. I personally think the Angels just need to start fresh. They need to clear house, and I think they should trade Mike Trout. I know that might be crazy to think, but I think they need to start fresh. I think they need to go in a new direction. I think Artie Moreno needs to get the heck out of there. I think they got to start fresh, and I think they should let Shohei Ohtani walk. I think they should try to get rid of Anthony Rendon if they can, and I think they should trade Mike Trout, in the second half of his career to a team that he can try and win with, because they're not winning with him, and they're not going to be able to get anything done with him there. So at least that's my opinion. But for Mike Trout, if they want to trade him, they're going to have to eat a lot of money, because the injuries that he has been suffering over the last few years, combined with, him not getting any younger, as well as the money that he's getting paid, they're going to have to eat a good amount of money to be able to get some value in return. So I've come up with 5 different trade partners that I think would make the most sense. Let's go talk about it. And one more thing to note, Mike Trout does have a full no trade clause, so even if the Angels agree to a deal, he has to approve the trade. For the first team, I have the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs are having a good year this year. They have a record of 77 and 67. They have a wild card spot as we speak. They have a good team, but one of their best players is going to be a free agent this offseason, Cody Bellinger. If he ends up getting a fat contract elsewhere, you could bring in Mike Trout to replace his production. And I think with Mike Trout, I think what would be best for him moving forward would be to play some outfield, but also be a DH as well. So you could have him go out in the outfield here. You got Mike Tauchman out in center field as we speak, but you could have Trout go play out there, and you could also have him DH as well. Jeimer Candelario, he's at the DH spot right now for the Cubs, but he's going to be a free agent soon. So I can see Mike Trout fitting on this team pretty well, but the Cubs, they want to be a competitor for years to come, and they got a good farm system as well. They got a few good players in the minors that are going to be coming up over the next few years, so I think this could be a pretty good fit on paper. The Cubs, they are a bigger market, so they definitely have the money to be able to afford him, but I think this would be a pretty fun fit overall. So in this trade, I have the Cubs getting Mike Trout and $120 million worth of cash. Remember what I said, Mike Trout has a negative value due to the fact that he's making a lot of money, he's had a lot of injuries, and he's not getting any younger. So I have $120 million worth of cash, which is going to offset his negative value, but also allow the Angels to get some prospects in return. So essentially, they're buying prospects here. So for the Angels, I have them getting Casey, Alcantara, and Ferris. So that would be the number 7, the number 9, and the number 11 prospects in this deal. Remember, you can always switch guys out. This is just a simple idea that I came up with. The values are pretty close. It's considered a minor overpay, but I think with the Cubs, I think they could get something done. Up next, I have the San Diego Padres. You can never count out AJ Preller and the Padres to try and make a splash. And remember, Juan Soto's a free agent after next season. So if you're going to end up losing Juan Soto, which I definitely think there's a good chance that they will because they haven't gotten anywhere in extension talks with him. He wants to be a free agent. I think Juan Soto is going to end up going elsewhere. So if you're going to lose one superstar player, why not just bring in another one in Mike Trout? Trent Grisham has been awful offensively over the last couple of seasons, so Mike Trout, he could go replace that production out in center field, but you could also have him do some DH there as well. He'd be staying in California, just going obviously further south in California there, so maybe this could be a good fit overall. The trade that I have set up here is Trout and Cash. Going back to the Angels, we got Snelling and Zavala, 2 top 10 prospects. Robbie Snelling is the number 4, and Zavala, outfield prospect, is the number 6. So maybe the Padres could get something done. Do I think this would really help the Padres long term? I don't know, but I could see Preller maybe being aggressive here. Up next, I have the Texas Rangers. The Rangers are struggling big time right now and in danger of missing the playoffs after a great start this year. If they miss the playoffs, bringing in someone like Mike Trout would definitely bring up the spirits of Rangers fans out there. I know this would be in division, but if the Angels are just going to start over, wipe the slate clean, I don't think it really matters if they're trading in division at that point. Could you imagine Mike Trout, a healthy Mike Trout, in this lineup with Seager, Semien? You got some younger guys like Evan Carter coming up. Duran is having a good season. Nate Lowe, he is underrated. This would be an extremely good offense with Mike Trout in it. Man, oh man, I could see the Rangers wanting to get in on this. They're an aggressive organization at the moment. They want to win a championship. My goodness, Mike Trout would be amazing here. So the trade that I have set up here, I got 3 prospects going back to the Angels. Again, Trout and Cash going back to the Rangers. And another thing with the Rangers, maybe, with the Rangers, it seems like they're okay with spending some money. So maybe you don't have to send this much money back to the Rangers. But the 3 prospects that I have going back here, we got Owen White, we got Jack Leiter, and we got Morabel as well. So taking a look at the rankings, Owen White is number 4. Jack Leiter has definitely dropped off a little bit, but he has improved over the last few starts. He's been tinkering with his delivery a little bit. Let's see if that pays off long term. And then we got the number 13 prospect, Yason Morabel, a international signing, could have a good future as an outfielder in the major leagues. So in this trade, I could definitely see the Rangers wanting to get in on this. Mike Trout seems like, to me, a player the Rangers would love to have. Up next, I have the Arizona Diamondbacks. I wonder if the Diamondbacks could be a dark horse for Mike Trout, and I have a few reasons why. The first reason is they got a lot of payroll flexibility. They're not paying anyone any big bucks over the next few seasons. Sure, you got Ketel Marte locked up, you got Corbin Carroll locked up, but you're paying these guys practically nothing compared to what these top players are getting these days. So they got a lot of payroll flexibility, and they got a really good farm system, a farm system that's going to be producing talent for them over the next several years. You already got a couple of great young players already. Corbin Carroll, Jordan Lawler just came up, Gabriel Moreno, and you got some talent already on this team. Mike Trout would be a huge bat for the Diamondbacks moving forward. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., he's not going to be there forever, so you could have Trout, get some DH reps there, go play some outfield as well. Tommy Pham is going to be a free agent eventually, so Mike Trout right there just fits perfectly with this Diamondbacks lineup. So the trade that I have set up here, and the thing with the Diamondbacks is they could definitely get a deal done because they have prospects to deal. So in this trade, I don't know if Diamondbacks fans would like this, but I have them getting a young starting pitcher in Fat, as well as a couple other prospects in Vucevic and Luis. So Fat would be leading the way here, a good young electric arm. He's had a cup of coffee in the major leagues this year. We also got Vucevic. He is a corner infielder at the moment, but he has been getting reps in the outfield. That's a power bat that maybe the Angels would like to get back. And then you got a young infielder in Janzel Luis. So I think the Diamondbacks are a pretty interesting fit for Mike Trout. Remember with Mike Trout, he seems to not really like the spotlight so much. I feel like he would be pretty comfortable playing out in Arizona as well. That's just my thought, but I would love to see the Diamondbacks get a superstar player like this. And last but not least, I got the Philadelphia Phillies. Mike Trout grew up a Phillies fan. He went to the World Series parade back in 2008. He's a big Eagles fan. He grew up not too far away from Philadelphia in New Jersey, so there's definitely that connection as well. And with the Phillies, they got the money. Sure, they're paying guys a lot of big bucks. Trey Turner, you got Harper, Wheeler for another year, Real Muto, Castellanos, Schwarber, Taijuan Walker. You do have Aaron Nola coming off the books, Kimbrel coming off the books, Lorenzen they brought in for a rental this year. So they got money coming off the books, so they could definitely afford Mike Trout. And could you just imagine this lineup with Turner and Harper, and Mike Trout? Are you kidding me? As well as Schwarber. That would just be crazy. That lineup would be insane. So the trade that I have here set up, so Trout and Cash going to the Phillies, and going back to the Angels, we got some prospects. We got Rojas, we got Crawford, and we got McGarry as well. So taking a look here at where these guys rank, Justin Crawford, he got drafted not too long ago. He is the number 3. Griff McCary is the number 4. And Johan Rojas, he's gotten a cup of coffee this year with the Phillies. He is their number 6. So they're getting a couple of good young outfielders in this trade, as well as Griff McGarry. He's got an electric arm. He's got good velocity, but he's lacking the command and the control. So maybe the Angels can fix up something with him. Who knows? Maybe Dave Dombrowski, he can get really aggressive and say, hey, we'll even give you Mick Abel. Maybe they could even go that far. So I think the Phillies could definitely be a good trade partner for Mike Trout. I think all of these teams could definitely have a say. I definitely think there's some other teams out there that could be in consideration, but these are my 5. So tell me your teams down below. Which teams do you think would be a good trade partner for Mike Trout? Tell me what you think. Do you think Mike Trout will even get traded this offseason? But let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments. If you can on the way out, hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll talk to you next time.